All right, we at hour number 2 of Off the Cuff Radio, live and direct. And on the line right here, a part of the Rhyme Syndicate. We had her on before, but Blog Talk, they was on some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? They hurt my feelings with that because we had one of the best interviews this year. But nevertheless, she's real enough to come back on the platform to chop it up with us about what's going on with her lately, to tell her story. And probably to choke me out because, we fucked up on the interview. You know what I'm saying? But let's all welcome Gripsta back to Off the Cuff Radio.
What's up?
Hey, lady.
What
up?
What up?
What's good?
What?
Good.
Man,
yeah, I had to make sure. You had to make sure you don't choke me, man, because I was like, man, I was heartbroken when we couldn't get that first interview.
Man, I was heartbroken. I don't know. I'm not even sure what happened, but we don't got to go into it. I know.
Oh, nah. Cause you know what? Nah, cause you know what we doing? We back up recording this shit. I'll pull a DJ Vlad. I'm back up recording this.
Okay. Word. Yeah,
we ain't losing this content.
Yeah. Okay, so y'all doing it this time. So what before?
That's right.
Before it was, you guys weren't doing it before. It was somebody else in charge of recording it.
Nah, what happened was we did the show, but then they had like a technical difficulty, and they couldn't air, and we couldn't get the episode back. So I was like, you know what? We're gonna record on my old phone this episode here, so we ain't losing this content here. Damn it, we want you a part of the archives.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'm happy to be. I'm happy to be here. So yeah, it's good.
Right, we fight for the content, man.
Yes, sir.
Man, Grip, it is great to have you back with us. I mean, look, as we talked about, in the first interview you did with us, your legacy is legendary, of course, being with Ice-T, and I mean, just what you did in terms of really making that impact in the game. Tell everybody about what it was like in those days in terms of how you started rapping and then ultimately when you ended up meeting Ice.
Yeah, well, just growing up as a young black girl, in the era of hip-hop when it was just really starting to expand, that was the music of that was like the soundtrack of my life. So it was always something that I listened to as it started. I mean, of course, I started off, with Luther Vandross and hearing my dad play, records, actual vinyl. Just being a black girl, music was always in our household in the morning when it was time to clean up, getting our day started, when somebody was in love, when somebody was sad. So, I just started listening to hip-hop a lot, and I figured after falling in love with it, I would try it, And so around 13, I was listening to TLC record on Yo MTV Raps, and Left Eye actually inspired me to write my first rap. And I sat down and wrote my first rap. My mom, already being a comedian in the business, really, really supported me, and she made me feel like it was something I could really do professionally, and put me in the studio, put me up in Hollywood doing shows, and put me in a big rap competition for ASCAP Publishing. And I kept rapping until I made it to the finals, and that's where Ice-T was in the audience. And when I got off stage, he approached me, and he basically put me in the Rhyme Syndicate the next day and signed me to Rhyme Syndicate, to his production company.
Now this time, C is pretty much a big name in the game. Of course, shout out to Henji, Evil E, all those guys. I mean, so he's well established at this point by the time you come in.
Definitely.
Yeah. What was he telling you about how this game moves and just the wisdom that he imparted to you from that?
Well, I think that being that at the time I met him, it was like the height of his career. He had already done New Jack City. He had did Trespass with Q. He was doing Survive the Game. He had a bunch of hit records. He had the Body Count F the the one time, and he was just in the middle of the thick of that, all that controversy when I came in. It was
Cop
the middle
Killa.
of the LA. Yeah, that part. Yeah, Cop. I'm tripping. That was Ice Cube, but same sentiment. So, yeah, Cop Killer. But basically, my point was coming under him, being around him, you know, daily, being at his house, being with him. I just kind of learned I learned a lot about the business just by watching him, how he moves, how he conducts himself. Of course, he's a really great teacher and a really great mentor, so he would talk to me, but I think most of what I learned about the business was really touch and go as I went along, and just emulating him and how he handles things and how he does things. So I was kind of just, you know, mirroring him. And when I say mirroring him, I mean just he helped to foster my, how do I want to say this, my spirit of being true to myself and not giving a fuck really what people say or think about you, and doing you, you know, and being bold and being and just being real, you know. I was so young that
I was going to say this too. You know what I think? I was going to say too, I think what made those guys, I would say, a threat to the establishment in the 90s is how they carried themselves on big platforms. Because Ice-T, he would go on, I think, Fox News. He would go on Oprah. Even when rap was attacked, he would defend his art in an intellectual way.
He definitely would. He definitely would. And even his album cover, like for Home Invasion, was real deep and intellectual. And he's always showed me how you can be street but then smart with your rhymes too, because he's very, very smart and clever with his rhymes, as well as giving the street element. You know, there's always a lesson to be learned, or it's pretty prolific, you know, when he made music. So that's kind of just what I learned, like, you know, just from being around him and watching how he moves.
Shout out to Douglas Century, who wrote Ice-T's first autobiography with him, Ice. Of course, he wrote the second one, Split Decision, with him and Spike. But, you know, Ice really goes into detail about business aspects and the personal ups and downs he went in his, you know, in his career, and how he was really on the front lines. A lot of people forget this also too, because what happened with Warner Brothers after the Cop Killa controversy with Body Count, that kind of was where Ice-T was he was beginning to, at that time, on the mainstream level of an art, because he was already well known in the industry at this time. So this is pretty much when he released his Home Invasion, I believe, on Atomic Pop Records, which was an independent label, because he was tired of dealing with the majors at that point. You know, what did you learn from that aspect of, you know, in that as well, Grip, about how to get out there and really get it on your own in terms of that independent movement and pushing your own product?
Well, you know, like you said, that was about the time with Home Invasion that Warner Brothers had started tripping. Cause like, Home Invasion, yeah, right. And so, you know, again, I really just saw that you have to be knowledgeable and always understand that you got to have a backup plan. I mean, depending on these labels and the people that run this business and the powers that be, it may not always work if you're not in line with their agenda. So you have to always think that, hey, you know, I still need to have some type of setup where I can be able to still put my art out. Ooh, no, I cannot take this. And back my own self, you know. So like I said, I saw him able to still bounce back and put his own stuff out, and or get, you know, a different situation. So again, I was like, I learned a lot right there that, you know, you can. It's not over because one situation doesn't work out. There's always another way, and you just got to find it, and you have to stay, believe in yourself and keep going no matter what.
When you look at the game,
that was a trying period, man, because it's pressure when you have the President of the United States calling you out. And that's good publicity.
I remember that.
At the same time, Go ahead.
No, I remember that. I was there. I remember Al Gore and his wife and all that.
Yeah.
I mean, shit was crazy. Wild.
But when we think about it at that time, but when we think about it at that time, that's when we realized rap music had gone beyond a casual dalliance in American pop culture. This had become a full-fledged movement of a culture that engulfed the world. We had something to say, and we didn't give a damn how it came out. We were like, yo, you're not going to censor, silence, or suppress. We're going to express, scream, and yell at how we're feeling.
Absolutely.
As you progress, Grip, in terms of watching the game go, when you see what it is today, where we see so much more of the entrepreneurial spirit with a lot of artists coming out, but we also see, and let's keep it real off the cuff radio, we see a lot of buffoonery fuckery too, in terms of how some of these artists are acting. We're seeing stuff that we all come from that era, so there are just certain things that were done then we would never do today. I mean, look, certain fashions, certain songs. I mean, even with some of the women, we can dig our ratchet hip hop as well. But certain artists who shall remain nameless, they're making a mockery of the game. You as a black woman, I know you got something to say about it. Go ahead.
Well, and I try to approach this. I don't want to be like should I say, like the person that's from this era or that era that's judging the younger people and the newer artists, so I don't want to say I try to be careful with it, but I try to be fair with it. It's just, honestly, a lot of it is real disappointing. Like, I'm no Square and I'm no Angel at all, and when I was coming out, a lot of people didn't agree with the shit that I was saying, and they thought at that time that I shouldn't be talking like that, because you got to think the way I was talking and the way I was rapping at 14 or 15, my parents thought that was unheard of for me to be cursing and talking shit, so they probably thought I was doing fucking buffoonery, and that was kind of the thing. That's why Ice wanted to name my album that I did on A&M. It was originally going to be called Child Abuse, because of how I was rapping. It was kind of, at that time, even though we had, crisscross and stuff, but I was coming harder than the previous kids had came out. So that right there was controversy. So I try to be fair, but I will say, honestly, it's I think the more that the different people that control the business saw that rap is making money now and they wanted their hand in, they've kind of they've not quite succeeded, but they've done damage in helping to ruin hip-hop. I mean, it's now, a lot of it is mass marketed bullshit. You can tell it's not raw like it was about the art. It's just like somebody found something they can make money off of. They're getting these various black folks, and they're making a mockery of us and the original art form, and it's becoming a lot of bullshit. You can see that it's changing, and it's not nothing like it originally was. I mean, that's why I really don't I listen to a few. I like some of the new shit, but I really love turning on my other shit, like my real classic hip-hop. It's nothing that compares to it. People actually had topics back then. They actually, even if they were talking shit, about a bitch or a hoe, it was creative. Ice Cube, once upon a time in the project, I damn near had to wreck a hoe. I walked in the door. Who is it? It's Ice Cube coming to pay a little visit to you. Like, he was telling a story about going in the hood and stuff like that. And now it's just like silly shit, man. It really is. So I really don't listen to that shit. I don't mess with a lot of it. It's embarrassing. And then the female rappers, when I was coming up, it was video girls that were, showing everything and were, completely the hoes in the video, and now the female rapper is the hoe. She's the video girl. You can't even tell the difference. And I will say I do show some things, and I have that sexy side, but I still think that the female rapper, the person that's starring as the artist in the song, should separate herself on a bit more of a pedestal, and then let the, maybe the girls around her do a little bit more of that if that's what you need to bring the ratings. But nowadays you just can't tell the difference. I don't know. I feel like I need to go take pole lessons in order to advance my career a little bit more.
Yeah. And we see that now. And we see that now because somewhere along the line, the game of the culture got away from us, and because we don't like you said, Grip. We're children of this. We love the culture. We like a lot of the new shit that's out. We're not hating, but it's like we're seeing something that is amiss in terms of the message, and even if it's the most hoodish shit, even the most hoodish shit we grew up listening to had a message. And now it's like you have a lot of, new artists coming in who, I'm going to just keep it brick. They just want to be famous. They're not worried about whether or not the music is good. They just want to be known. They don't care if they don't care if they're, they just want to be, because of how we came up, whether you were an actor, actress, rapper, whomever. Hell, even if you did something heroic, saving 10 kids and 5 dogs and 3 cats and 4 old people from a burning building, you did something that was actually of note, and it really merited a real attention from media. Now it has been expedited because expeditiously, as T.I. would say, because now with social media, everything is instantaneous. People can put up their own content. And that thirst for fame has become something that has no quench. Every day you see somebody trying to do something to get their name out there. We get it. Advertising is good. Nobody's going to promote you like yourself. But even then, there's a certain standard, there's a certain integrity, there's a certain pride and respect you have for yourself in terms of the image you want to put out to the world. And what we have with some of the songs and just even some of the antics, is like, y'all know better than this. Y'all really do. I mean, come on now.
Yeah, the bar is set low.
Yeah. I mean, and sometimes I feel like, I'm like, if hip-hop is dead, just say that. Like if y'all not gonna put out real shit and real people, just say that. Like, don't even, let's not pretend anymore. If this whole thing is just about gimmicks and getting, who can do the wildest shit to get likes and fame or what, I mean, just say that. Like, stop trying to mask this as hip hop. Let's just call this shit like musical entertainment or something, because what a lot of these people are doing is just not even that. So I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, I think a lot of that comes with mainly the lack of balance, man, because everybody should have a lane to eat, but when they paint us as one brush and represent it to the masses, that's where it's a problem.
Right. Yeah, for sure. It's a huge problem. And, I saw like Blueface's baby mama, Jaden Alexis, shout out to Jaden for her hustle, but she just got signed at Columbia Records, And I mean, how long has she been rapping? A few months. Blueface wrote her a couple songs and put her in the studio, and she, you know, did some songs, and she's got a deal already, you know, off the stuff she's doing, but she's not an MC. Like, I mean, I don't know.
The AI doing the ghostwriting for him.
Yeah, it's like, and they're signing you, I guess. Like I said, it's just it's like if you got a gimmick, you can make some quick money. They can get you and then drop you, make some money off of you and drop you real quick or whatever, you know? I don't know.
Yeah, the AI got a whole album. They got like 2 albums already written for them. All they got to do is read the script.
You really? Nah. Now, hold on.
It's going to come to that. It's going to come to that.
Huh?
I think it's going to come to that. They're going to hire robots to write these niggas' albums. I bet you. It's going to happen within a year.
Oh, man. You know what? You might be right. You know, you might be right, because niggas is writing apologies and shit to, you can curse on here, right? Of course.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because they're writing apologies to females with Chat GPT. You know, I got somebody that felt like they had did some shit to me, and I got a text, and it was real AI. She was like, "Yo, I really feel like I really overlooked some things," and whatever it was. And I was like, "Nigga, did you just Chat GPT me an apology? Like, really? Are these your real feelings, or did you write like how to apologize to a girl?" So, and I really think he did do that. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're using it for raps. But at that point, I don't know what we're gonna do at that point when you're just using a computer to write the rap.
Well, you know, one thing about it, and I'm gonna tell you what we're gonna do about it, because the fact is, the computer can only do what it's programmed to do, but it cannot exceed the human imagination and ability, because the human imagination and ability is what programs it. When you're looking at how it is now, when we look at how the beats are, when we're looking at the lyrical content, when we're looking at bar structure, when we're looking at syllables in terms of how it's pronounced, we don't do conspiracy theories on off the cuff. We don't do that. But we do see a pattern in terms of what is being marketed in terms of how certain songs and how certain artists deliver them in terms of what is considered catchy. One thing about it with us growing up, because we were listening to some deep, when I think about it now at 45 years old, we were involved listening to some heavy shit that would still carry the day. And what's happening now is that the music is not challenging the listener. You know, we're seeing the most basic, most rudimentary, most banal songs out there that are not provoking thought. Now, that's not every artist, because we got guys, shout out to Griselda, shout out to Cam in China, shout out to, of course, Jean Grey still doing it, yourself, Rhapsody, Armani Caesar, Kamaya, there's still so many out there that are doing it. Street Soprano.
You gotta break that glass. Yeah. See, the talent is out there. There's a man breaking that glass, and it's just a real funky situation where a lot of these guys, it's click related. This game is very click related. Like, if you ain't cool with this person, or you ain't cool with that person, or you ain't in this part of the circle, they're not gonna let you in those doors.
Yeah. That right there. For sure. And I don't know, it's just like you just have to have some kind of gimmick to really break that, to really get in and have a lot of money behind you. It's just different.
Yeah, it's different because they know they can muscle these little niggas. Like, a lot of these guys is on drugs. They strung out. So, yeah, you can go ahead and sign them to a 360, and then if they get into some bullshit, leave them in jail, let them rot for 10 years and take all their money. They ain't come from the era where Ice Cube used to have them goons go up priority with the bat to get his money.
Right. Yeah, not at all.
They ain't come. So, check this, Grip. They ain't come from the era where Suge Knight had these execs wearing bulletproof vests.
Yeah, right. Oh, man. That's crazy.
And
you know, it's funny. My son told me the other day, he's like, Mom, you still not doing this right. Like, you rapping too smart, Mom. You gotta dumb it down, and you gotta like mumble a little bit more and be a little bit darker, and you know, because that's what the kids want to hear. It's like, you're still too smart. You're making too much sense, Mom. And I'm like, wow.
But it's crazy because when we look at certain elements of the music, what your son said about the darker side, and as we say in the country, one, you know, and I can't even say, you know, one is being a skunk at the picnic, you know, trying to smell it up. The reality is intellectual is the idea that invigorates, it innovates, and it is infinite. There is intelligence is what's going to help you live in this life. I mean, because if you're dumb, if you're ignorant, if you're the opposite of that eye, on the other side of the eye of ignorant, then you know you're immobilized and paralyzed. The energy, when I think about how we came up and some of the music we listened to, there was something for everybody. And we said this on the show before. When the kids ask me what it was like in the 90s, even the 80s to the 90s and early 2000s, I tell them one big-ass party, and we had fun, you know.
Right.
Because there was something for everybody to listen to, and the music was serious at times. But even then, we're looking at some of the dark energy that some of these songs are having, and it's affecting our babies out there because it's like we got enough shit going on in the world right now. If nothing else, the music should not be bringing us down when it's something we are engulfing ourselves in every day. Music is supposed to be therapy. It's supposed to make you feel good. It's supposed to make you think. It's supposed to give you something to really, really attach yourself to in a real way of meaning. But by the same token, conversely speaking, when we see the street culture explode the way it is, when we see gang violence really exploding now, and we're seeing kids, you know, getting out there in the streets pulling guns. I don't want to get on the soapbox and preach. When we was growing up, the guns were the last resort. You fought it out with your hands before it even got to that. If the guns came out, nigga, you was in a fucked up ass situation where your life was threatened. And now it's like everybody's this big drug dealer. Everybody's gonna drill up somebody's house. Everybody gonna call out the dead ops and they dead homies and say, "Fuck y'all, die slow." And I'm like, you do realize you got to step outside, right? You do realize that. We've seen a few artists who got knocked down because they came out their mouth wrong and somebody came to get them. And you got and then so if you're thinking about the artist getting knocked off, whether going to jail or getting killed, think about the kids who are listening to this and trying to play in a life that they didn't live, that they don't understand. You know, Uncle Ice was from 60. He knew people out there. He was really from it. So he understood what he was. Ice was real with what he was rapping about back in the day because he was really from it. And he never glorified it. You know, and your mother, you are raising your seeds to grow in a fashion of telling them what's going on, but also letting them know the consequences behind decisions that they make. And that's what we have to get back to with the culture, with the music. Words have meaning, actions have consequences. And people better wake up and realize that, you know, number one, a lot of these rappers out here, as we said for years with a lot of them, they not living that life that they spitting on wax. Number two, some of them do have money, but some of them have money, but The average person don't. I tell these dudes in the street, nigga, you ain't got that bail money if you get locked up. You ain't got a label coming to get you out. You know, you're fucked
this is where you know the game is fake. This is why I know even the game is fake. Is I'm gonna tell you all this, man. You know, give a little comic relief on this interview here, because you know we do it off the cuff, man. We shoot from the hip. We bring comic relief here, so it's not a serious interview. You know what I'm saying? But what made me look at this game a sort of way was, you know, there was a studio session that we had out here, and this rapper we wanted to bring on, he wanted to get on, but he ain't have money for an Uber. I'm like, okay, let's just send this nigga an Uber. So we send the nigga an Uber, right? We send the nigga an Uber to get into the studio. Then he talk about he need a blunt, he need some food. I'm saying, God damn, okay, get this nigga what he needs so he can knock this track out. So he goes up here and he's spitting about having boats and yachts and 2023 foreigns. I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh shit!
What the fuck?
Word.
We just broke your ass. Man, hold up. You eating on a Happy Meal right now. We done brought you a foreign. I mean, we done brought you an Uber here. You rapping about foreign.
Word. I think that comes into the acting part of hip hop though. Like he feels like he wants to say, you know, what people want to hear. You know, it's funny. It's definitely funny. But you know, we can't forget, like, okay, rap music, it still is entertainment. You know, so you know, in his mind, he's writing a movie script, just like a writer would write a movie about something that they didn't necessarily live. It's something that they've seen.
All right, nigga, you better. I told that nigga, you better keep it real and write about your trip here, because that came out of my pocket.
Oh man, see, you know he's never gonna do that. I couldn't smoke. What? My bitch kicked me out. Like, nah.
Yeah, we love the fantasy. We love the fantasy because everybody exaggerates. But come on, nigga, you owe that to me. You got to put your real life on wax.
Oh man, so what was you doing in the studio? You just sit. Like I know you were like, huh?
Man, I was the arranger because, you know, these guys knew me. You know, you give people structure, you give people where to put bars and who to put this song, this, that, and the third. Like, you know, I was basically the arranger. Yeah, and I suggested getting this guy. You know, this guy can spit. You know, he dope. But at the same time, he came out there on the Uber, and I'm like, all right, get this nigga Uber. All right, get this nigga food. I don't smoke, so get this nigga some weed. You know what I'm saying? Get him just so we can get this track in. And then you spit about. Only one that can get away with that is Rick Ross. Rick Ross make a nigga feel rich.
I love Rick Ross. And that's what I was gonna say earlier. I feel like there's room for everybody in hip hop. You know, I love gangster shit. I love, you know, gangster rap. I love, you know, I love Lil' Kim's hardcore album. I love all types of rap. There's a place for it, for all of it, because we all have these different moods and stuff. So I love it all. You know, it's the problem is when you just become oversaturated with only one aspect. That it's like, oh man, this is wild. You know. So I wanted to say that. Then another thing I was thinking, a lot of the cats, we're calling them artists, and a lot of the cats are not really artists. Like, they're just basically, I mean, writing down their street life and stuff when they're calling out ops and this and that. It's like a way of calling somebody out over a large platform. You know, I don't know if they actually all were thinking like, okay, I'm an artist. It's more like, let me get a beat and let me diss some people and talk my shit, you know what I'm saying, and get it, and that's the way I'm going to get it heard, and I'm going to clown you and because I want all the smoke type shit. I mean, are all of these kids doing this, like, per se, like artists? I don't know.
And we just have to, you know, like you said, man, there's the culture that we know and love and grew up in is multi-dimensional. It's diverse. It's varied. We all have shared experiences. We're going to have conscious rappers like Common, and we're going to have gangsta niggas like Griselda. But there's always a happy medium. And there's nothing wrong with having a group like the City Girls, you know, who can make, you know, a Cardi who make, you know, I mean, they and the thing, and they get and you know, JT and Young Miami and Cardi get a lot of flack, but I love their music because it really brings the party vibe. You know, it's nothing negative in terms of they really have a party vibe to it. You know, it's something if you play it in the club, it's going to get everybody feeling good, and that's okay. It doesn't always have to be lyrically demanding. You know, if you got Kamaya out in Oakland. She bring that town hood shit. But Kamaya is dope as fuck, man. You know, I mean, you know, but then there's two rappers who,
culture is a mix gumbo.
Yeah, it is.
It's what? Say that again.
I said the culture is a mix. The culture is a mixed bag of gumbo, and every flavor should be taste Paul. Yeah, for sure. Like I said, I mean, I still love hip hop. I always have, you know. I love it. I love all of it. You know, it just depends on my mood and stuff. For what I play all kind of shit. So, I mean, that part is cool. But you know, there's a lot of buffoonery. So, you know, but I guess that's to be expected because it's so commercialized and big now. So. Like a gift and a curse. Well, look at it like this. I look at it like this. You can use the clown buffoonery as motivation to write something better.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. And some of the clown buffoonery is entertaining. You know, I ain't gonna lie. I mean, like, you know, they catch my attention with it. Some of it is catchy. So.
Yeah, I laugh at a clown show every now and then. I'll laugh at Blueface and Chris Rock or whatever her name is, but I laugh at that.
Krishan
Rock.
Yeah. And Blueface got a couple of songs that have made that I, you know, party to. Shit, don't get me wrong. Tatiana, he got a couple joints and stuff. And they're funny characters. That's what I'm saying. Hip hop is like building like these real funny characters, you know. But I think social media has brought an exposure of people's personal lives and a lot of the buffoonery too that we might have had back then, but it wasn't on social media. So now it just seems crazy because you're seeing everybody's personal problems and shit right on the shade room. You know, we didn't have that back then.
Fact.
Different.
When you think about the game and where it is today, Grip, how do you stay motivated still making music and still, being an ambassador for the culture?
How do I stay motivated? Well, oh man, I think that first of all, I'm tapped in with a lot of people that made music with me years ago, and they helped me stay motivated, as well as a lot of the fans I'm starting to find and connect with from over the years. They helped me stay motivated. And then also what I do know, and it's kind of like a best kept secret, I don't know if people actually realize this, but a lot of the people that still stream and listen to hip hop and pay for concert tickets and all that are people like 35 and over. And so I don't feel like that I'm really at a loss because we still have the same fans. Still have people that love hip-hop, and they're older, and they're still there. So when I make music, I don't necessarily – I feel like, I'm very much relevant because I'm not sitting down necessarily trying to appeal to the people that my son likes. So when he says, Mom, you have to mumble more and stuff and not make sense, I don't really go with that because I tell him, well, I'm not really necessarily trying to get, 14-year-old people.
Right,
they don't
right.
even need to hear some of the shit I'm saying anyway because I do say some grown shit. So I'm still peeling and rapping for the people 35 and over, and when I look at my YouTube stats on my views and stuff, like 65% of my views, because YouTube will tell you all your stats, they're from people between like 35 and 55, and they're literally going on YouTube, playing the video over and over, streaming it and everything. So we're still alive and well. The original fans that grew up on these classic artists, we're still there.
And that's something, Grip, we needed to hear, not only on this show, but everybody out there listening needs to hear. Because the thing is, as a culture, we try to put an expiration date on our artists and even on the listeners to say, I'm like, hell no. I'm going to be, we love this shit. You know what I'm saying? You know, and we have a different understanding of it, which is why when we really hear something we like, it really connects with us. You know, when we see a lot of older artists like Uncle E40 still doing his thing, you know what I'm saying? That man in his 50s and oh my God, and this dude is still out rapping some of these young boys out here. Yeah, I mean, you know, when you look at guys like Griselda, they're older. They're in their late 30s and early 40s, you know, and they're killing it. I mean, there is a soul. I mean, look at Nas. I mean, the legend. Look at AZ, who just dropped his new album. I mean, and you're going to tell me, look at Redman with his freestyles that he just drops out of nowhere. And you're going to tell me that they don't have a place? Hell no, nigga. We need them here still. You know what I'm saying? We need them.
They have a place. They have a place. I just went with Ice to the Forum. He just did a concert with LL Cool J and Rakim and Salt and Pepper and some other ones right here at the Forum. And it was sold out. And the whole audience was people, it looked like to me, 35 and over. It was sold out. And Wu-Tang
still touring as well. Yeah,
Wu-Tang selling out. You guys didn't see the articles? There's articles talking about how the classic hip-hop artists are actually selling out more concert tickets than the newer ones, and so they were asking in the article, like, posing the question, why is that? Why are the newer artists not packing out the arenas as much as the some of the classic artists? And they were saying maybe it's just because, I don't know. I don't want to mix
craftsmanship. It's the art that it's the work that they put in to create that magic, and magic never disappears. Because I looked at an interview with Jay-Z did with Gayle King. He said he'll never sell his masters because there's so much value in it.
That means Jay got his masters back, but that's a different story. But for those that don't know, he let Live Nation hold it for 10 years for $75 million, but it was a 10-year deal where he would get it back. So I'm assuming Jay got it back now. That's no shade to Jay because it was a great business move, but it made sense at the time. And he got it back, like he said.
It's like a lease.
Yeah, it was a lease, exactly. I'm going to go further with it. What's happening with a lot of these artists today is that we're living in a time where it's a lot of microwave music. The music we came up on was something that was a full course meal that we're still eating off of today, being interested. Some of these artists came out 5 years ago, and they're gone, like yesterday's news. You don't hear from them anymore. And the way that the youth move today, the youth are always, because of social media and how fast things move in the news, everybody's on to the next thing just as fast as I can snap my fingers. You know, they're on to the next thing. So what's happening is a lot of these artists that were big years ago, number one, they're not making music that's memorable, and two, some of them are even flaming out like a supernova before they even have a chance to really become a big star. They're already come and gone. You know?
That's right. That's right. That's right. And the kids don't appreciate a show. They don't appreciate the art of the show either, and a lot of the newer artists aren't putting on a show either.
Exactly.
Mumbling back and forth. Because, like, my kids are not even interested in going to a concert. I've tried to take them to them. They don't even understand the value of a concert, nor are they interested. They're fine with pulling you up on YouTube from their home, and that's it. They're not really interested in going to the movies. They're not interested in concerts. They're from a whole different era, completely.
I will go on air saying one dude before he kind of went batshit nuts, but at his best he's a genius, and I saw him perform in 2004. Kanye West. Oh my God, that man can put on a show.
I love Kanye.
He can put on a show. It was him and his DJ at the Norva in Norfolk, Virginia. Me and a shorty I worked with, me and her went to the show. Kanye rocked that, and little brother opened up. But when Kanye did his set, Kanye, and this is Kanye before, you know, where he is now. This is College Dropout Kanye.
Oh,
that man rocked.
I love this album.
He rocked it. Kanye can put, for all of his nutty shit, and there's a lot of it, Kanye can put on a show. He can put on a show. I can see why his fans feel the way they do about him, and they will defend him on some of the stuff he does. Because that man, when he puts a lot into his presentation when he does it.
Shout out to him because he's a brilliant artist. Brilliant.
Yeah. When he's focused, I'll tell everybody. Yeah, he can do it when he's focused. When that dude is constantly locked in, he is great. But
I was going to go to the show that he did around, I think, 2011, 2012. But I couldn't make it. But my homegirl, he told me, man, this nigga show is some other shit, yo. We seen lightning. We seen thunder. We seen snowstorms. We seen Jesus. We seen Moses. This nigga we seen mascots. Yo, we seen the lion, tigers, and bears. Like, this nigga took us in like 5 different dimensions.
Word. Yeah, I hear you. I definitely hear you.
Go ahead.
No, I'm saying, so that's what keeps me motivated. It's a whole bunch of fans, grown-ass people that listen to rap still. I don't even know where the idea that you have to be, 18 even came from. That's some bullshit.
Man, but you and so many others, shameless plug, because I got to shout out Sir Veterano and Mitchie Slick on the Everybody Hates Mitch album. They're older. And they dropped one of the bangingest albums this year on Fresh Yard Records. I mean, the hip-hop is out there. I mean, it is out there, And one thing is, I would tell the youth, go back and listen to the classic catalog. Go listen to Cuban Links. Go listen to Illmatic. Go listen to Reasonable Doubt. Go listen to Tupacalypse Now. Go listen to Wu-Tang 36 Chambers. Go listen to Ice-T's Power. Go listen to Rhyme Pays. Go listen to Original Gangster. Go listen to Freedom of Speech, Watch What You Say. Go listen to soundtracks like Juice. Go listen to the Menace to Society soundtrack. Go listen to Thicker Than Water soundtrack. Listen to these albums that are monumental in not only the culture of the movies that they were based on, but the people that are on it that are legends, that are fixtures, that are indelible and incredible and impeccable in the culture. That's what it is.
It is, but unfortunately, they're not gonna go listen. I've tried it. They don't want.
We know, but we can hope. We can try. We can suggest.
I song in every now and then. I really do, but they don't even want to listen, man. It's.
They better start.
That's why I don't. Huh?
That's why they got to start doing kid commercials, movies, and do what Pusha T did. Do an Arby's commercial. You know what I'm saying? That can get your name out there, and that can draw different listeners and eyes. And next thing you know, you have a base just doing Arby's. That nigga got a new base off just doing Arby's commercials.
Right. Word. That's true.
But we look. I don't know about y'all, but I fuck with Arby's, though. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely,
Arby's?
Yeah, I fuck with Arby's.
The sandwich, you talking about the restaurant?
Yeah, the roast beef. Yeah, the roast, yeah.
Oh, okay. We don't got a lot of Arby's out here, like in L.A.
But y'all got fat burgers. Y'all got fat burgers.
Yeah, we got fat burgers. I don't really fuck with Arby's. It's only been one I've really seen and shit, like they have like roast beef or pastrami or something.
Man, look, out on the West Coast, but y'all on the West Coast, y'all got the mom and pop hood, soul food and everything restaurants. Man, I mean, when we come out there, man, we gotta link with y'all and we gotta eat some of them places, man. Our first couple of days, we're gonna just go to every place. I heard, huh? You said what now?
El Pollo Loco.
Oh, man, yo, we had a Pollo Loco out here in Virginia at one time, man, but they closed it. I was so, but it is good. It's a little expensive, but it's good though. I'll tell anybody, but it's good though.
Word.
Yeah.
Nah, they got it.
But Pollo Loco is crazy chicken, man. Yo, that shit is Yo, if y'all ain't never, for those that ain't never had Pollo Loco, go there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you got to pull up. You really got to pull up. I hope so. I heard you say you're in Raleigh, North Carolina. My kid's dad is from Greensboro and in Reedsville.
Yeah, and I'm in Hampton Roads, Virginia myself.
Okay, word. Okay, I got people out there in Virginia, but I've been to Carolina a few times and stuff, to Greensboro area. So
yeah, Raleigh's making the boom right now. Like everybody's trying to come over here. It's a good thing and a bad thing. It brings attention to the city, but it's also bad because they raising rent. But it's all good. We'll take the exposure.
I heard they're raising rent. I did hear that. I heard that it's going up because it's always been a good cost of living, and you got the nice houses, and that's kind of what's happening in Atlanta too. You know, I went out there looking for a second spot, and it's going up. It's going up. It's going up fast. It's not like it used to be. So.
And I knew it. And I knew it hit the fan when I started seeing rappers move out here. I said, shit, they gonna start raising the rent.
Word. The rappers is coming out there, huh?
Yeah, I was like, when I heard Jim Jones talk about I got a crib in Carolinas, I said, damn, these niggas gonna start coming out here.
Word. Because you got J. Cole, the baby, and all that.
All of them started coming out here afterwards. And then they started bringing. We always had attention for I think it was the CIAA events that we have in Charlotte, and the festivities with college football and the black historical colleges. But now we're getting more shine with the entertainment world, because you got J. Cole, he bringing his festivals out here, and you got the baby, he's blowing up, he's doing good.
Yeah, and both of them cats can rap.
Mm-hmm. And my only complaint is they raising everything up.
Right.
I miss being up again.
Yeah. That's too bad. But yeah, so there's a lot of newer artists that are really talented for sure. So. But
yeah, we about to go ahead and on shortly because we almost about the time. Now I got to shoot you one more question, and for fun, I got to shoot you a fun one. I'm gonna shoot this one to you too, T Max. I want y'all to be honest about this.
Okay.
I know y'all heard it. $500K or dinner with Jay-Z?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the bread.
Because I can back it with that 500. Because with that 500K, I can. Yeah.
I can't scoop him. I can't take him from Beyonce. I'm fine and all that, but I ain't no Beyonce. So, I'm gonna take that bread.
And that 500K, I can take some of that and I can buy a ticket to wherever Jay at and maybe holler at him.
Right, that part. Yeah, I need that bread, man. No, and I ain't gonna even say shit, but let me just even skip that. But there's some artists that was under Jay-Z that sat down and had mini dinners with him, and everything didn't work out like they wanted.
We know.
Yeah, man, because I was like, even Jay-Z telling himself, look, the game is in the music. You spending $500K, I would have told you to keep the money.
Right. Exactly. Nah, yeah. Cool question. But yeah, I think we take, all three of us can agree we're going to take the money.
Hey, look.
Yeah.
One thing I learned about rich people, a lot of rich people, they're not going to tell you everything because, they're going to see you as competition.
Dang, that's heavy. That's heavy right there, though.
Yeah, they ain't going to tell you everything. No, they're not going to tell you everything that they know because they're going to see you as competition. And you're going to overlap them.
That's wow. That's real, though. But, I would think that they're so far ahead that, shit, it wouldn't even matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn.
Ego at the end of the day. It's ego at the end of the day, too, especially with rich men. They're not going to give somebody like me the game or T-Max the game like that. They know we're going to be next in line to outdo them. So they were like, okay, I want to tell them what I want them to know and let them figure it out. I'm not going to tell them everything.
Yeah, I'm going to gatekeep this.
Man, you don't want to share everything. But we're gonna leapfrog y'all anyway.
Yeah, damn, that's crazy though. That's fucked up. I never really thought like that, Nah.
When we do it on the Cop Radio, we drop gems.
Man, look, we got treasures. We got treasures for thought. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta mine it to really get it. So yeah.
For sure. This was
a fun
interview.
You had a dope bill, Grip. It's always fun having you on.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys having me. I had a great time, and I want to come back on too.
And you know what? We're gonna have you back on.
For sure. Let's do it.
Yeah,
I'm with it.
Yeah, we gotta keep in touch.
Okay,
do it. We're gonna keep in touch, and I'm gonna definitely have this episode. I'm gonna send it to you when it's finished processing, and then just in case they want to act up, and we got it recorded right here. So now you are part of the archives.
Okay, bet. Thank you so much. I'm happy about that. Off the radio.
That's right.
Big up.
So yeah, we up out of here. We want to thank everybody for tuning in for this doubleheader. Big shout out to Nancy Fletcher for being a part of hour 1. Big shout out to Grip for being a part of hour number 2. We love you ladies for staying true and keeping the culture alive and well. And we will definitely build with y'all.
All right.